calling fraud on his shit here. So,
yep. All right. Welcome from the crossroads of America. Talk show, Shooting with Disabilities, but we do talk guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience, either in chat or by email at Rick's Life as I see it at gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page and all that other stuff all in the info down below. So, while we're waiting for people to show up, first in was Mystic Guns, then Kingpin, then Jason Stewart. That's all we got so far in the chat. Oh, 2 live moves just showing up. So I said people are starting to trickle in now. Oh, I just got notified my show just started. So there we go. Nice of YouTube to let me know. But what I was saying before we started, the other thing that got me was back to Georgia. Biden won by 12,000 votes. They found 20,000 votes that were made by dead people. So you take minus off the 12,000 that he won by, Trump won the state. You know? So that's all I'm saying. It's just, hey, Sabrina's here. So it's just one total. It's one total cluster, but I personally feel that I know it's not over to the fat lady sings, but I think she's loosening up her vocal cords. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, man? I think the Supreme Court, like I was saying before, I think you can't count on them because, count that they're just going to uphold this, because you have to look at what's at stake. They're not stupid people. They know what's at stake. They're Washington people. They know everybody personally and what's going on. If they say it's okay to go and they let this election go to Biden, what did all of them promise? They said they were going to stack the courts. So therefore, they're going to take away the power of the justices that are sitting there now. And they're going to, where they're talking about ratcheting in new justices every time a new election comes, and phase out and kick out all the old judges. So you're losing your judgeship for life that you've been awarded, and they're going to try to strip your power. They know that in the back of their mind. They're not going to let America go to that. And I mean, they're supposed to make decisions on the Constitution and the law and all that, but we see time and time again, half of them on that court don't. They make a decision for what the Democrats want. So I think if they play in their own personal smarts into it, they're going to call this election no good, because they can see the horizon, what it would lead to. I mean, look at the trouble we're starting to have with Iran all of a sudden. And Joe Biden right away, what's he want to do? He wants to go right back to paying them and buddying them up.
Yeah, what's he going to do about the tariffs with China? Get rid of them?
Yeah, the Supreme Court knows this. They know for maybe one of the only times in their lives the actual fate of the history of this nation may lie in their hands. They'll give an official ruling, but they'll find whatever little loophole, little tiny phrase somewhere in the law or whatever that will say this election's no good, and they'll all stick by it.
Yeah, but then it more likely go to the House, where one state has one vote. And if that's the case, Trump should win it.
That seems to be the plan, yeah.
I don't want to make projections. I don't think it's confident to say what anybody's going to do.
But I don't put my faith in the court. That's what the Constitution says. If they can't figure it out, that's the way you go. Anyway, let's get back on track here, because people are joining us now. God damn it, cat! Why in the hell did you scratch me? What in the fuck did I do to you? Sorry. He just walked up and stuck his nails in my leg. I'm wearing shorts. That's what. If I had my long pants on, it wouldn't have mattered. But I got short pants on. So, damn little bastard. I don't wear short pants out in this cold weather, by the way. I just put them on when I get home. Anyway, sorry. Shooting with disabilities. As I was saying, here in southern Indiana, we had snow on Monday, and we've had freezing temperatures for the last 3 days. Snow's gone. There wasn't that much of it anyway. And, but it has been goddamn cold. My hands are hurting like crazy. I mean, as I'm sitting here tonight, they're aching. You know, they're not swollen or anything. They just ache. And it's in the joints. They hurt like hell. And because it's cold, my back hurts. My hip hurts. I can barely walk today. I'm in pretty sorry state, really, when the cold weather comes. Maybe I should move to Florida, where it's warm, except for maybe a month and a half of the year, So,
yeah, then global warming people's full of shit, ain't they, Rick?
Yeah. So, anyway, besides that being disabled, that makes it, my hands hurt so much, I don't even want to dry fire. I normally dry fire in the evenings while I'm watching TV or in the afternoon because I'll sit there, I'll take all the ammo out of my gun and drop my little laser light in there and practice against the wall or shoot at the people or the Democrats on TV, and with a laser light, not real bullets now, people. Everybody's listening, but I don't even, I don't even want to do that because my hands hurt so bad. So it sucks having arthritis like this and being disabled. It really does. But I went to my Social Security website, and I see this year that I'm getting an extra $25 a month increase on my Social Security disability in the next coming year. I'm getting $25. I'm rounding everything off here. I'm getting $25 extra, but my Medicare has gone up $4. So I'm actually getting $21 net extra a month. It's how you meant to survive. But then again, Biden said he's going to give us a lot more money on Social Security. He thinks we're underpaid. We should be getting lots more, where the taxpayer is going to, cover it all. The rich are going to pay for it all. Yeah,
math should put you like 300 ahead, 3 and change. I don't know. I didn't do all of it on the 4, but per month, but obviously 4 times 12, 24, 48. So 48 out of 300. So it's still you're still going up. Not saying it's good, but it's better than going down, right?
I'm getting an extra $300 a year.
Yep, but then you got to subtract that $4 extra you're paying every month. So
yeah.
So I'm actually getting. In the end, what do you really get?
I'm getting an extra $21 a month. So what I'm getting now, my check is going up $21. An extra $21 will go into my bank account every month. So there you go. Oh, roll calls joined us. There we go. So anyway, that's just thought I'd mention that to people that it sucked this year. They only gave us I think 1.3% increase cost of living. How much really though, how much has cost of living gone up this year in real terms?
$252.
There you go. So, oh well, but anyway, so I've got on disability thing. I don't really have a lot to talk about. I'll just moaning and groaning how I ache here and dry fire, and I'm not into it, so I have to wait for it to warm up. But like this morning, it was 17 degrees outside. But by 2 o'clock this afternoon, it got up to 44, I think, outside here. So, we're, it's tolerable. Oh, I didn't tell you guys what I did. It's embarrassing. And I don't think I've seen. No, this happened on Sunday. So I'm reading in what Sabrina's written. She's having some results on what stuff she's had done to her hands and feet. Well, I hope everything works out. So anyway, I had to go to Walmart to pick up the cat's insulin. And so, I threw the cart on the back of the truck. No problem. Got to Walmart, tootling around, went to the pharmacy, picked up the stuff, picked up a couple of items. I mean, actually, I was in there less time than it actually took me to take the scooter off the back and put it back on. But that's not what I want. Anyway, I get home, right? And normally what happens is I'll drive past the driveway, stop, and reverse in. So I'm reversing in, and my driveway slopes. So at one point, the bottom of my thing my scooter sits on scrapes the concrete. I'm not worried about it. It just real quick. But anyway, I'm reversing up. I'm looking in the mirror. Right? No problem. Then I look and go, oh shit! On my carport, I have a sort of like a wrought iron post on one corner that holds it up. Right? And I'm looking and I'm going, oh, damn, I'm too close. The next thing I hear is crunch. I run into it. And I knocked it back about 2 foot. There's a big dent in it. Didn't damage my scooter any. Anyway, I got my truck put in there. I got my scooter taken off the thing. And my actual platform that my scooter sits on is bent slightly, but I sat it. I put it up in the sitting position, and it was leaning down one side. So I just put all my weight on the other side, and it straightened back up. It's still not exactly perfect, but it's good enough to use. Anyway, I've had to. It's taken me 3 days with a 2x4 and a sledgehammer, but I managed to knock that thing back in place. It's all bent out of shape, and it's got a drain pipe running down the side of it too, and the drain pipe squished in the middle. I don't think any water is going to get through it.
Now, is your landlord going to care?
It's back in place now,
Is your landlord going to care about you scraping up the driveway every time you pull in and out?
No.
You hope not, right?
I mean, you can't even see it where it does it.
Okay,
honestly, it's all you hear is. I mean, it's less than a second that you hear it.
The more you bend metal, the weaker it's going to get. So if you're every time you pulling in and out, you're stressing it, and now bending on it, and like putting your weight to bend it back. Every time you do that, it's getting weaker and weaker. So you know what I mean. I know. You get a replacement, you might want to get they sell rubber strips, but you can do like pressure treated 2x or something and just tilt ramstead them right to the ground right there. And it's a lot easier to caulk in a few holes and avoid scratching the driveway or risking damage to the vehicle or your trailer hitch. So when you backed up, you would just be elevated on those couple boards, which will still allow water to pass in between them. You space them a little bit. Or so, they sell stuff, but that's a cheap way to do it. Where it's like a speed bump, but it's to save your rear end literally. But yeah, just be cautious of that. One of these days, you're going to go down the road, and that damn scooter's going to go flying. So,
all right. All right. I understand what you're saying, and you are correct. But sometimes New York Outcasts, you are doom and gloom.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Got to keep you guys in check, man. You know, somebody's got to stay on your ass.
I mean,
I'm wondering why your hand's cramping so bad. We got to get you a date. I don't know what's going on, but you got to stay on top of things.
You know? Oh yeah, I'm looking for what I would love to buy, but my truck's so rusted, I don't want to waste the money. I'd rather get one of those things that, like a swing arm that comes out the back, and I can lift the scooter up in one piece and set it inside the bed of the truck.
Yep.
But I can't see the expense because my truck's what? It's a 97. And it's rusted, you know, and I just can't seem putting the expense in it, you know, to do that.
Well, it's in my opinion, it's more of, you know, quality of life. If it's easier for you, you know, you're only talking a couple $100. I mean, depending, unless you go buy an actual setup where it's powered or whatnot. But I know we talked about it before. I pointed out a couple cheap alternatives. You know, the easier things are for you, the more you're going to do. You know what I mean? It's just everything's a pain in the ass. You're never going to get out and do anything.
I think I'll get one of those arms to get one of my cousins to put it in for me. You know, if I don't get an expensive one, but one that will do the job. You know what I'm saying? That might be the way to go.
That's all you need, because the truck probably won't last forever the way you talk about it or whatever. So you could either throw it in your next vehicle, even in the back of a van that the tailgate lifts up. It can probably be bolted in. Might need to put, you know, a little bit of like a 1/4-inch steel support, or have somebody, you know, stiffen it up a little bit, but because you don't want to just pop holes anywhere. But you know, could easily be reused or sold later.
Look, man, that truck's a Ford. It's got another 23 years in it.
It's a Ford. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, don't even waste your money.
The body is rusted, right? But it's not that bad to look at it.
It ain't that good if it's a Ford.
It is rusted. I mean, motor-wise, the engine-wise, I've only got, I looked at it today, 127,000 miles on it. And that's true miles.
Ain't even broke in yet.
No. So what I'm saying is the truck itself will fall apart before but what I was thinking of doing, the frame looks okay still. It's I'm thinking, I wonder, my cousin has a scrapyard. I call that scrapyard, a junkyard. Sorry. That was my English coming out, scrapyard. A junkyard. Right? I was thinking, I wonder if he keep a lookout for a decent bed to put on that truck and just swap them out.
Oh, hell yeah. It's just your bed that's rusty?
Well, yeah.
Hell yeah. You could. There's whole salvage yards that sell truck beds and cabs and fenders from the southern states that won't have any rust. Oh yeah.
I mean, there's no rust on the front of the truck. It's only in the back. It's sort of like it's from the, you know,
corners.
I mean, it's a standard cab, right? The cab from the cab upwards is fine. So from where the bed starts back is where it's rusting. You know.
Hey, I got a 99 truck and it started rusting out, but I got a little bit below my doors in the cab.
Yeah.
Man, I'd get rid of my favorite gun before I ever get rid of that truck.
Yeah, I love this. I know it's a Ford, you know, and I remember my dad telling me never to buy a Ford, but so I'm glad he's not alive to see me. You know,
never listen to your parents.
You know, but it's. I mean, mechanically, it hasn't really let me down. So
yeah, it depends what year and model, in my opinion. So. Across all of them, even, you know, there's a lot of modern Chevys I wouldn't take for free. Sad to say, but depends on year and model with all brands, in my opinion. So they all got their ups and downs. So
Sabrina asks, "Where is Patriot in the Dark?" He's missing in action. I ain't seen him. He hasn't been in there for 2 or 3 weeks. Unfortunately, his, over here because of the COVID, most schools, his daughter's home more days from school than she's at school. And I'm not even sure Michigan closed him down completely yet or not, but that's why we haven't seen him, because she's at home and he's taking care of her, so. But he has been in here. He's been in there a couple of times when you weren't here. And at the end of the show, he always says, "Good night, Sabrina." And you're not even here, So when he is here, the last time he was here, you weren't. I remember. So that was a couple of weeks ago, I think.
When the show's over, I'll say good night, Sabrina.
Here, sometimes they're popping the chat the last, 10, 15 minutes or so. So, all right. What else is new? Anything you guys want to bring up besides? I don't really want to talk politics, but but we mostly will get on it in a minute. But what else was I going to say? Now, I was we're talking about my truck and the thing when I hit that. Anyway, I finally got it straightened up today, so it's all, the legs are all lined up back in the places where they're meant to be, but the actual wrought iron column that comes down is actually got a big dent in it where I actually hit it with the trailer.
Did you break the base out of the concrete by any chance?
It was just screwed in.
Okay, but is it ripped out?
Well, put it this way, there's no screws holding it in anymore.
Okay, all right, yeah.
They're just for looks. Anyway.
It's only for looks anyway.
Well, yeah, code and whatnot. So hopefully the mailman don't come lean on your rail and bust his ass, because then you're gonna have a problem. But yeah, you did it now, buddy.
No, damn, doom and gloom again, aren't you?
Here's a bright side. Your gutter downspout, you said, got crushed.
Yeah,
that's only a few dollars. You can get like a 10-foot long piece for $5.
Oh, I know, that's all it needs. But what I was thinking of doing was just calling the landlord and say, I backed into it and it's dented.
Just pray it's not riveted, so you don't have to rip down half the gutter pulling on it, avoiding trying to get on a ladder.
All I'm hopeful, I mean, there might be some internal damage that I haven't seen to the carport, the roof, because it's all connected. It's an extension. The roof is like an extension off the house, So, because it's all. It looks like it. So I got the thing back in there, so it's not the roof's not sagging or anything. That's more what I was worried about. The corner of that carport sagging, But I wouldn't think they would have a piece of wrought iron holding that up from sagging, surely. It wouldn't seem, it to me, it doesn't seem strong enough to be able.
They work. They're used a lot for porchways, carports, or used to be. But they tend to rot out at the bottom a lot. So, and then, until you can line everything back up, because it's masonry, you have to reseal the holes and then wait and then drill. And it's really 100%. So, and they're more expensive if you were to try to find those today than they used to be. So you can't just walk in the store and find those typically. So, and that makes it harder too, because a lot of them are custom. So then you got to figure out your angle. It puts a lot more work into it to replace that exact same thing, unless you're lucky and can find one somewhere, if it isn't damaged. So hopefully your landlord's cool or whatever. But typically handrails are a big deal. Right? Now, maybe not where you live, but in my area, you'll be sued within a year probably. So
Midnight Range says, remember the Saturday Night Live sketch with Debbie Downer? I think Rob must be a writer for that show.
No, I'm just realistic. I'm just pointing out, want you to know the full picture. That's all. Hopefully it don't come to that.
You need to move out of New York. That's your problem.
Yeah.
New York's got you, so far down. You need to get out where you can be free.
I think he owns stock in like the Just for Men company or something, man. He tries to give everybody gray hair all the time or something.
Come on. What am I supposed to do? Give you cookies and rub your tummies?
Oh, Patriots in the chat. So there he is.
The views and opinions of the guests must be consumed with a value.
Yeah. Anyway, we're oh, don't forget, guys. I hope all of you, how do I phrase this before everybody starts jumping on me? The Second Amendment is our right to carry. I know all that.
And mac and cheese is American.
But today is the 2nd of the month. So all those who are allowed, as I said, I know the Second Amendment is our right to do whatever we want. But if you're following the law, certain states won't let you carry open. Normally on the 2nd of the month, if you can carry open, you try to carry open to engage people in talking about the Second Amendment. That's what today's all about. So if anybody who carried open, I hope they did. I did. But nobody bats an eye here because they're so used to guns here. I think they would question you more if you didn't have a gun. You know what I'm saying? Well, I was talking to the old boys down the diner this morning, and they all remember these old country boys. They go, "Oh yeah, we used to." I used to carry my 22 in the back of my window of my pickup when I went to school. They didn't worry about it, and I didn't worry about it being stolen. If they knows were the days. So that's how. So I remember that too when I was a kid living in Georgia for a few years. I remember kids driving with their rifles in the back of the pickup trucks. That was before the great big law changes that happened. So there we go. I remember you could buy whatever happened to Weston Auto. I remember you used to be able to buy guns in Weston Auto too. I remember that as a kid walking in there, and there was always guns in Weston Auto for sale.
I've never heard of them. I know even in New York here, I can recall seeing gun racks, not in the city, but country was common in the back of a pickup. I can recall going in, buying like a brick of those Remington Golden Dud 22s for, I don't even know how much, chump change, I think it was under $10 or something like that at the time. $7, no ID, nothing as a 13-year-old kid. So,
oh yeah,
no problem. You know what I mean? Like a normal thing. So, I used to shoot them off my mom's deck out, from her house. But needless to say, it was a normal thing, so it wasn't a big deal. Ain't like that no more.
We were talking about it today. I mean, we're talking about when I was talking to a guy who knew my aunt and uncle and stuff who owned the farm. And I said, we used to sit there we used to lean up, use the fence as a, to hold the, help us with the rifle steady. And we would shoot across the street at the groundhogs, trying to shoot them. We didn't worry about vehicles coming up and down that road because it was a country road and nobody, if anybody was coming down that road, they were normally on a tractor and you heard them coming. You know what I'm saying? But today, if you're shooting across the road, oh my God, they'll throw you in jail. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big no-no, shooting across the road.
Yeah, but we used to do it all the time in Indiana, here on the farm. Now, see, you got to remember, I'm going back to early 70s is what I'm talking about, I don't know if any of you were alive then, but,
Nope.
Ow! You son of a bitch! He bit me now. I had my hand hanging down here. What is your problem? You've been fed.
That's what you get. You entrap that cat, keep it like a prisoner. What do you expect? I mean, come on now.
Yeah. Yeah, the older he gets, the meaner he's getting. You know? He doesn't like me picking him up. Otherwise, I'll pick him up and show you in the camera. But if I turn around and go pick him up, he'll run off. More than likely, scratch me on the way out. You know? But, yeah, I just had my hand hanging down the side of my chair here. He just come up and nips my hand. I thought, Jesus Christ, cat.
Yeah, you thought you were the boss, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's just a love bite.
Oh, yeah. He just wants attention is all he wants. You know, it doesn't matter what I'm doing and what I need. It's what he wants.
Hey, Patriot's in the chat.
Yeah, I know he is. He was sweet talking Sabrina a minute ago in there. You know?
And Kevin came in.
Yes, I see him. There's a few people in there now. You know, so good to see everybody who shows up.
Give you guys a quick, easy, lazy dinner meal. Not necessarily for you, Rick. Probably ain't the healthiest, but the queso dip, throw that in with hamburger, and then throw it on the Tortito, whatever, scoop chips. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Cheap and easy. Quick. It's not necessarily cheap, but it's quick.
That's hamburger?
I forgot to tell you guys. I went
hamburger and queso.
Yeah. That looked, I mean, personally, myself, that didn't look that appetizing to me. But maybe I'm un-American, you know?
Yeah, it's the lighting, and there is cheese in there, so that's probably a no-no for you.
Maybe that's what turned me off, you know? But anyway, what I was going to say, I went to the doctor's yesterday, and they made me stand on the scale, and I've lost 11 pounds. So,
nice.
I'm on the right
just from your last check-in? Was that 21 in total?
Yeah, so far.
Okay. Good.
You know?
Keep it up, damn it.
You know, I'm getting there, and I told him that I was told him I was going for surgery because the doctor had, because I went to a doctor out of the area here. Said I'm having surgery on the 28th. I gave him all the information for that. Oh, he said, "You want your flu shot?" I said, "I don't care." You know, so they gave me my flu shot. You know, asked me all the questions. Are you allergic to this? You allergic to that? And all this. Your arm could be sore for a few days. I said, yeah, whatever. You know, I don't even feel it, you know. So, but I was very disappointed. Because we're talking to COVID. And he is he's a believer in the masks and stuff. You know. I said, I'm disappointed in you, Doc. You know? And he said, unfortunately, what brought this up was the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. And he goes, unfortunately, he feels, even though they're saying there's going to be enough vaccine for the whole United States by June next year. I mean, everybody should. If they vaccinated the whole country, they would have it covered by June. But what he feels is, he said the first responders and nurses and doctors and stuff, they'll take the vaccine because they're working with the COVID every day. He said the people who are the elderly, or people, with outstanding conditions or whatever, and he was looking at me when he was saying it. He said, take it. He said, but the problem is, he said, the group of people who don't show a lot of symptoms is the 20 to 30-year-olds. He goes, unfortunately, is trying to convince that crowd to take it, he goes. Because if they don't, it's just going to keep on spreading. You know, that's his opinion anyway. Oh. And I said, he said what he's hoping is if they see that the, first responders and the elderly aren't getting sick and dying, that the younger generation might decide to take the vaccine.
I would say, see from who? Who's supposed to be showing us this? The news? The same people that are telling us all this BS with the election and not being honest about things and straight. We're supposed to trust those people, right?
What are you talking about?
Talking about with the first responders. So
this is what my doctor's telling me.
Yeah, but even so where are they going to get the information they're from? They're going to get it from the government or the company or the news. They're going to be telling everybody it's good.
He's a doctor. You're meant to believe your doctor.
There's a lot of doctors. They're not all good. So, the worst of the class still graduates still called a doctor. And most of them are busy stuck in their little area, not going to every 20 conferences a day, keeping up on everything. So, they're just people with a job. They got better knowledge in certain areas, but just because they're a doctor doesn't mean they're the great messiah. I mean, how many times have you heard of somebody getting 3-4 different, going to see 3-4 doctors and they all say something different? So, I mean, they're people with opinions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're right. I went to 3 different orthopedics to find one that will actually operate on me.
Exactly. So now that's a doctor you like. He's the good doctor. The other ones are crazy. So
the other ones don't know what.
So I mean, that's the same thing with this vaccine. I mean, that flu shot you just got, they don't even have a good percentage on that. I mean, why would anybody trust this new stuff? I mean, it's brand new.
They need 20 to 30-year-olds to hop on this vaccine because that's a lot of sold vaccines, the 20 to 30-year-old population. If you can't convince them to take it, look at all the money they'd lose.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because for many, many years, the baby boomers were the biggest thing, but we're dying off now. So there's not as many of us as there used to be. So you're right. The young 20 to 30s is where it's at.
This vaccine has been developed faster than anything in history. And they say it works. What if it don't? What if it ain't nothing? I mean, doctors used to give your ass a sugar pill and just make you think you're better. This could be the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be.
They're not going to risk giving you something. They don't want their asses sued for the next 20 years.
Yeah, but then again,
by putting something in there that hurts you. They could give you something that's bullshit. They could give you the same flu shot that you just took.
No. This proves that the United States, the FDA, right, had so much goddamn red tape tied up on getting a drug into the system. Right? It takes 5 years to get anything into the system. It proves it can be done quicker if you bypass all the fucking red tape.
Yeah, but there's still time for trials. But what I'm saying is, what happens if it really doesn't work? What happens if it's the same flu shot you get right now at Kroger store for $10, but now it's the COVID shot? It costs $1,300. And it doesn't do you any good, man. They just tell you it does. They just want to sell more shots. Hey,
it's mind over matter, isn't it?
And the FDA,
that's what it could be.
Seems to go towards money,
especially when they overhype and over promote this disease as it is. All they have to do is start reporting factual numbers and say, "Look, it's because of the vaccine."
My insurance pays for it, or Medicare. I pay for it indirectly, but I don't have to. I have no out-of-pocket expenses with my flu shot. But anyway, I remember in the old days when they used to give you a cube of sugar with some syrup on it. What was that, for polio or TB or something?
Well, Trump had Corona.
Yeah.
And he was back on his feet in a couple of days talking about how good he felt.
Yeah,
they gave him Regeneron. Well, give us all Regeneron then.
They can't afford to give it to everybody. They want something that they can afford. Because because he claims he's given it to everybody for free. Right? Or your insurance is going to pay for it, and if you have no insurance, then I guess you get it for free. You know what I'm saying? So, like that flu shot.
Money.
Like that flu shot. I'm sure the doctor's going to bill my insurance, bill Medicare for it. You know?
Anything free is not worth anything.
Oh, yeah. 2 Live Moose said that was the polio vaccine. Yeah, the cube of sugar with some syrup on it. You guys don't remember doing that? They used to give it to you in a little paper cup. I used to love taking it because I like chewing on the sugar. You know, so I didn't mind doing it. But Oh, Pedro said the cube is the same size as sugar cube, but it was not sugar. Sure tasted like it. Or that could have been the syrup on it. I don't know. But it didn't taste bad. I used to like chomping down on it. You know? So, there we go. See, I remember also for in school, now this was a Department of Defense school on a military base. We used to have, back in the days when you used to have a shot record and everything else, they used to line us all up by classroom, and they would have the injection. It was like a goddamn air gun. You'd walk up with your sleeve rolled up, and he put this gun next to your arm, pull the trigger, shoot the needle into your arm, go on to the next patient, hit the next, do the whole class, do the whole school like that in a few hours. You know, I remember
smallpox.
I remember one time they shot me. I can't remember what it was, but they didn't do a very good job of it because blood was pouring down my arm from where the needle hit me. You know. Oh, the good old days, you know. So we used to have stuff like that, you know. Getting shots and stuff doesn't bother me in the slightest. I'm not worried about it at all. You know. But maybe I'm conditioned that way of being brought up in England.
I think you are.
You know.
I mean, that's the ultimate. I mean, your skin, your body is a barrier. So, yeah, I don't know. I think people should take what they put in their body very serious, whether it comes to natural medicine or, chemical, whatever. If there's a natural way, you should do it. Everything we need is here. It's just whether we're willing to put the time in. But nobody wants to do the work. They want the easy pill. So, I mean, obviously there is situations, medical treatment is applicable, car accidents, cancer, you got an appendix bursting. Yeah, go see a doctor. Don't take some herbs or something. But I mean, I think just people should be smarter about it, especially when it comes to your kids. I know a person firsthand where I've watched him basically destroy his kid. I just see him today. Basically destroy his kids with drugs from the school and doctors, and now they were normal kids that were hyper, and now they've all been doped up and have tremors and all types of shit because they've been on these drugs for 12 years, 13 years that are supposed to be like, we'll try it for a little bit. So they damn near drool on themselves. So instead of discipline or having them run around and do something like a normal kid, they just dope them up. So, and that's going to last over the period. But most people in America are on drugs, whether people want to admit it or not. They're drug dependent. So that's a big issue. I don't know. I think people should take it serious. Pros and cons. Don't just trust what you hear. It's your job to figure it out when you're responsible for another person.
Yeah. But I disagree to a certain degree when it comes to vaccines, like polio, smallpox, and all those, where people
the basics. The basics I would say are probably all right under a certain standard.
A lot of those diseases were almost eradicated. Now, in the last few years, because parents haven't been giving their kids these vaccines, it's starting to come back.
Well, isn't that an oxymoron? If you get the vaccine, shouldn't you be safe?
But they're not. The problem is,
how does it keep coming back? You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Because parents stopped vaccinating their kids.
Yes, and like all these diseases are a virus. A virus never dies. But if everybody's vaccinated from it, the virus can't take hold. But now,
okay, so if
thousands of
that
people.
person took a risk and then they ended up having it, and everybody else is vaccinated, then what's it matter? It's almost like your same argument with the mask last week, in a sense.
No, for 2 decades, the parents have been stopped. Well, I don't know if it's 2 decades, but it's been a long time since they've been arguing it and fighting that. And some states letting them not vaccinate their kids and this and that for school. And now they've seen some stuff creep back in that should not be here.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, isn't it law, or it was, that your kids had to be vaccinated to go into school?
No, they mandate it in most places. So, but with religious exemptions and this and that, there was ways to get around it in some states, or some people just homeschool. So, I mean, there's some ways around things depending on what you want to do and with what. So, but again, that's all on an individual level.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I mean, a good one that is wasn't there a vaccine for mumps, right? And kids,
yeah, measles and mumps.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want to put your kid through that? Just because the vaccine, could have do damage. Back to the argument, you driving down the road, you could get into an accident.
Well, I think the measles and the mumps, it's better off to have it happen in a child the way it does to them. It's a much, much serious case if an adult has it.
Oh, yeah, mumps can make an adult sterile.
Yeah, and there's usually shingles later in life too that come up from that.
That part of measles or whatever. And shingles in adults, that's in that part of measles or something?
Yeah, so they say if you're more likely to have it later in life. So, but I don't know. In my opinion, I treat a problem when a problem arises. In my opinion, you get your body clean. It's not too much of a problem. Stay fairly clean, stay healthy, and treat a problem when one occurs. In my opinion, but I'm not going to preventatively take stuff that could be harmful to maybe help me with something I might get. I would rather take something when I have something and deal with it. And that's a risk, but that's that's right as an American. So
shingles comes from chicken pox. Yeah, chicken pox leads to shingles. So there you go. So there we go. But with this, each the thing, I mean, as Patriot says, the problem is it's just not one kid. It's a bunch of parents with a whole bunch of kids. Then it wipes out half of a school district. Because if one kid, if a bunch of kids, it's like this COVID.
Well, if the others are vaccinated, it would just be wiping out the unvaccinated, right? All the ones that chose to be rebels and take it upon them. So what's that matter to the vaccinated?
But it's children. Children shouldn't suffer.
Right, but all of them aren't going to suffer. Not every kid that doesn't get a vaccination ends up with this. I mean, it's just like the flu shot. You're not guaranteed to get the flu every year. So,
Oh yeah, and this vaccine is no guarantee that I won't get the flu. I could get a different strain than what I was given in the when they decide what flu vaccine they're going to give for the year. They try to figure out what's the most popular strain going around during flu season is how they do it.
A gamble, basically.
It is. I could still get flu, but it could be a totally different strain to what I've been given the vaccine for. I don't know if it's a generic catch-all flu vaccine today or not, but I knew it used to be based on they would take, this is the virus, and this is what we're giving you the vaccine for. But now there's different strains of the flu. They can't cover them all, can they? Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't think so. They evolve, and they're different every year, right?
That's the problem with a lot of vaccines too. Is that I'm glad to bring it up. Is this COVID vaccine? Let's say it does work for somebody or whatever. It might work for some, but again, it's morphed. There's already 2-3 versions of it that we know about, and with enough time, it's going to shift again. So by the time the vaccine actually even came out, is it even relevant anymore? So I don't know. To me, it just seems like a gamble. And whether you guys are on board or not, I don't think America trusts the government that much right now to be sticking some mystery needle in their arm because they're told to.
So you're not going to take the COVID vaccine?
Hell no. No. Like, I would fight for it, honest to God. So, and it's not just me. You're not forcing anything into me. I don't get the flu vaccine. I don't get none of that shit.
You're self-employed, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, see, I mean, what happens?
Well, yeah, but there's principle. Like, my lady will leave. My daughter will leave her job. She's not going to stay there if they try to force her. So
that's what
it's not my doing. That's just the way we are. It's our
you're going to work here.
Right. And that's fine. That's a hardship we got to live with and be able to account for. Same thing with schools and things like that. So if you want to stand on your principles, expect to pay for them, and we do. So it's not an issue. So,
but back
to the gun rights. If people took a sacrifice and got off their ass, we'd be in a better place.
Back to vaccines. I mean, besides mumps and chicken pox and stuff, I mean, if you don't give your kids that, fair enough. But you should vaccinate them for polio. Polio is I mean, one of my cousins here had polio as a kid, and she's got her leg is all, screwed up because of it. So it damages you that way. Polio can too. So, if that's what people want, go for it. So, anyway. That's that. But Patriot is tell Rob to go eat green salad with light dressing. There you go. That's all you need. That'll work.
I usually do.
Yeah. I'm having you know what I had for breakfast this morning, guys? My diet went to hell this morning. I had biscuits and gravy with sausage patties. Damn, was it good. Of course, I'm still wearing the same shirt. I got it all down my shirt here. But man, was it good.
So you change your habits, you get down weight, man, you're going to feel like a different person.
I know.
It'll be worth it, let me tell you. When I lost weight like that, it was like night and day. There was this dam, everybody used to cut across and jump, and my fat ass barely made it every time. I thought I was going to die. I couldn't pull myself up the other side. It was embarrassing. My stomach's all scratched up. I had bigger boobs than the girls I was trying to date. I mean, it sucked, dude. And then when I lost weight, it was just another story. You totally feel so much better. Like, you'll thank yourself. You'll kick yourself in the ass if you actually do it. You really will. And feel so much better about yourself.
Yeah,
just getting up to use the bathroom is so much easier.
Yeah. I agree with you. It needs to be healthier for me. But hell, it's a bit late in life. Yourself. I ain't chasing young girls anymore. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Kevin said that's why the cats are riled up. The gravy on the shirt. Could be. It could be. Yeah, I wiped it off as best I could. Yeah. But it didn't show up too much on the camera. I'm not sure if it's showing up or not. But it was good. That, thick white gravy over. Oh, man. And I didn't eat any lunch. I know I should have, but I'm so full still. I'm getting peckish now. So I might make myself my normal Wednesday grilled cheese sandwiches. A couple of grilled cheese sandwiches after the show here. So.
What day is your healthy day, Rick?
What?
What day is salad day? Chicken salad day.
I normally
Monday,
the weekend.
Tuesday. Huh?
No, normally Fridays and Saturdays.
Ah, cool.
I do eat salad at least once or twice a week. I really do.
Yeah.
You know?
Just checking. I'll make us have to drive down there.
And I don't. I mean, as they told me, the dietitian told me, you know, not so much cut stuff out, just cut down. You know, instead of going to sit in my recliner with the carton of ice cream, put just a couple of scoops in a bowl and go sit in your recliner. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff is what I do.
Yeah, it's the easiest. And if you can try some more healthier foods and slowly switch that in your diet, it'd be a blessing. But
yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, I'm eating more fruit now, and I'm eating more vegetables. So, you know,
how do you feel about bagels? Like everything bagels or something?
I like bagels covered in cream cheese.
Yeah, a little bit, not anything crazy. And everybody likes to make it look like an ice cream sandwich, but it it's like ordering a Diet Coke with a Whopper. It doesn't do it for you. So
yeah.
Stuff like that.
Hey, when I was on a diet back in my drinking days, when I was on a diet, I used to use Diet Coke in my bourbon and Coke. I would pour Diet Coke. You know, the bourbon has sugar in it. The alcohol has sugar in it. But yeah, I said I'm losing weight. I'm using Diet Coke in my bourbon.
Just like drinking a light beer.
That's right. So, anyway, you guys, you realize we've gone through the hour and we ain't even got started. But, you know, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Oh, my quiz. I did get some entries. I was surprised how easy you guys found the answer, and I knew you would. The question for this Saturday quiz for the swag pack. Email only. I wanted to know what the most expensive rifle is. I typed it in Google and it came up. And it's not American. It's not American made. That's all I'm going to tell you. The most expensive rifle in the world. I typed the most expensive rifle in the world in Google and the answer came up. It was the first thing that popped up on my Google, you know. So that is the question. That's it. That's the. I just want the answer. And email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Get that into me by Saturday noontime Eastern time, the only time zone that matters. And you'll be in for the swag pack. So there we go. All right. Let's go through my my esteemed guests, panelists. You got any shout outs or plugs, Jason?
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Rick. Pleasure as always. Happy every second matters. I'll do a show tomorrow night on my channel around 8 o'clock. And in the meantime, go check out Kingpin's newest video and go check out Roll Call 219. And thanks for having me again. It's good seeing you and Rob and everybody in the chat.
Yep. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by for the hour. I really do appreciate your company. New York Outcast, any plugs or shout outs?
No, just thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for having me, Rick, and everybody have a good evening.
Are you low on ammo?
Am I low on ammo?
Yeah.
No.
Because you ain't put up a shooting video in a long time.
Yeah, I know. I've been caught up with another kind of round of work lately. So,
okay.
Yeah, and the last opportunity I had, it was raining pretty heavily and cold, and only had about an hour before dark, and it takes me about 20 some odd minutes to get out there. So basically, it just really wasn't worth it. So,
okay, I'm just curious. So
I'm awful low on ammo. So if anyone wanted to send ammo, I'd go make a video of me shooting your ammo for you.
Oh yeah, I can do that for you too. I'll make a point of getting out there with these bad hands. If somebody wants me to shoot their ammo for them, you know, I will gladly do it. 380. I even go back. I even shoot 45 ACP if you want me to. I shoot it through my 1911. That's not too hard on my hands. So I was thinking, if that gun, if the 1911 wasn't so goddamn heavy, I would carry it, because that shooting 45 ACP out of that 1911 is not that bad on recoil because of the weight of the firearm itself. So, that's a thought of carrying the 1911. Another easy shooting one on my hands is my single action 1875. And that's a nice easy shooting gun too. But hey, I need to go shoot that too. I ain't shot that for a while.
You outside the waistband carry, right, Rick?
9 times out of 10, yes.
Okay, because I'm gonna say, the 1911 would probably be all right for you, because I mean, you don't seem to be the type that's always ramming around town and working and everything else. So just running around errands, things like that, I think it would be fine. I know I carried one inside the waistband, but it wasn't comfortable in a vehicle, I can tell you that. And you knew it was there. So it was nothing like carrying a shield. Like, I got to check and see if I got it. Like, oh, crap. Yeah, okay. But, you have it. But you'd probably be all right with it. I would think you'd be okay. Not.
Yeah, I mean, like my full-size M&P 45 I carried all the time. But it was outside the waist. If I carry inside, I normally I carry inside when I'm wearing my bib overalls. I wear my response holster, like a belly band type thing. I wear that when I'm wearing my bib overalls. That's really the only inside the waistband carry I do nowadays.
It's perfectly obvious to me. It sounds like, Rick, you need a commander size 1911.
Well, yeah, I thought of that. I mean, it even crossed my mind about a 9mm. But
9 would be the way. If you go too small, it's going to get jumpy and be a problem for your hands.
I know, but even going to commander size, when it comes to the 1911, I know I haven't been around guns, but that was traditionally, that was a full-size 45 ACP. That was the way it was made, and that's the way it should be. Bottom line. Any variation.
Now you're sounding American.
What?
So now you're sounding American. Holy crap.
Damn proud.
I flip-flop when it suits my purpose. So, the 1911 hey, Guns and Barbecue, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Been out traveling a little bit today, so was finally able to jump in. Are we still live, or is this post chat?
We're still live. I was just doing we were just doing the plugs and shout outs, actually, and I got slightly off track. I know you got a shout out.
Yeah,
I watched your video.
Oh, the challenge.
Yeah,
just doing a state. I'm calling it the State 2A challenge. Just trying to get people to read their state Second Amendments, which actually I heard Nebraska's might actually be the First Amendment to their state constitution, but a lot of people don't realize that their state, one, has a constitution of its own, and two, that in most state constitutions that there is a Second Amendment. So I figured if I could get a bunch of content creators to create a bunch of videos and try and get them compiled into, one place, just a little bit more Second Amendment awareness going on, hopefully.
Now, I did do some research, and I don't know if this is going to help you or not. There's 44 states have a type of Second Amendment in their Constitution.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I knew there was about 5 or so that didn't. So 44, that would be 6. So I was close.
Yeah. So,
and like I said,
and another thing in your shout out, right?
Yep.
You called out roll call. Tonight.
Yeah.
He's in Indiana, not Illinois.
Oh. Is he Indiana? Man,
yeah.
I knew I was going to do something.
He's way up there, right on almost. I think you can see Illinois from where he lives. You know what I'm saying? But I think he's classed as Indiana. So.
Yeah, I knew I was going to goof up somebody's state.
Yeah, but that's okay. He was in here a little while ago. I don't know if he still is.
But yeah, and I figured like those 6 states that don't have anything regarding the right to bear arms in their state constitution, it might be a good chance for somebody to say, hey, you know what, we need to get a hold of our legislators and petition them, say, hey, we need to have something in our state constitution guaranteeing this right.
Yeah. I said Indiana has one. It's in Section 1 of. It's not listed as Second Amendment. It's under Section 1 of our Constitution, where it talks about we can have a firearm to defend ourselves and others and the state. Something like that. I can't remember exact wording, but it's in there. So, all right. So, look, Patriots even jumped in as I'm shutting down. You got any shout outs or plugs, Patriot?
Good night, Sabrina. That's the official good night, Sabrina.
That's why you jumped.
It's the only reason. Yep. Good night, Sabrina.
Tones.
Yeah.
All right. I want to say thank you to everybody for stopping by in the chat. I really do appreciate it. All I've been doing is waffling on tonight. I really didn't have a subject matter per se, except that I hurt because of the cold, but I'm a big boy. I'll get over it, So I want to say thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I will be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. So I will see you all then. So good night, everybody.
Stay thirsty.
Oh, and Rick, I know what Rob